Here's another weekly update of our option trading and our positions that we're holding. So in retirement here, I'm using some option income to supplement our retirement funds, because I said that right. So we're going to take a look at what trades I've done this week and what I'm holding and what I'm hoping for next week. And don't forget to subscribe. And this is not financial advice. Don't follow what I do because it doesn't always work out right, but typically does, but sometimes it doesn't. So just as a reminder, I won't spend too much time here. We have different buckets of money. We have this option income bucket, which is 10% of our total portfolio that I use to do option trading with. And my goal is to generate about $5,000 per month from this bucket to supplement our retirement. And it's been in the past 6 months, been doing a lot better than that. Last month or so, maybe not quite as well, but it's still doing the 5,000. But I was doing like 10,000 a month, but I'm happy with the 5,000. And then we have some other buckets. We have this growth bucket where money just sits and grows. So sometimes I will be holding a stock in this option income bucket and I do a covered call, gets called away, and I might make $1 per share. Then it shoots up another $5, $6. I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I should have held on to it. But then I stop and think, well, that's what this growth bucket is for. So this bucket is just to generate income, and I can't get attached to the stocks or anything and get emotional about it. They're just a tool to create income. And then I have this income fund bucket, which is covered calls, some preferred stocks, some other things. And the original goal was that this was going to generate our income for our retirement. So a while back, when the covered call funds came out, started getting popular, I was thinking to myself, why should I do options when covered call funds could do 20, 30%. So I was putting some money into some covered call funds thinking I was going to get 20, 30%. Well, I was getting 20, 30%, but the NAV was declining. And I realized, wait a minute, in the past, I did some option trading and didn't really keep track of exactly how much return I was getting, but I was pretty well sure that I was getting at least 20 to 30%. So that 5,000 per month is being generated from about $180,000 to $200,000. So basically, I can't predict the future, but for the past year or 2 years, maybe longer, I've been averaging over 25 to 30% or even more from this option income bucket here. But enough story time. Let's get into it and see how we did. Okay, so I only closed 7 trades this week. And if I highlight these right here, we made $714. So that doesn't sound like a whole lot. But the market's been kind of weird for the past couple of weeks, as everybody knows. And I've been pretty conservative on my cash secured puts and some different things. So I did get assigned a lot of shares. And just a few weeks ago, almost all my trades were cover calls. If you look up here, cover call, and then all these here. So a lot of these I've gotten taken away, which is part of the plan. And I'm back to doing a lot of cash secured puts. And if you look here, these trades are not closed yet. They're still open. So all these trades here are cash secured puts with the expiration about the middle of May. So that's still 2 or 3 weeks away. And if you notice a couple things I've done expiration dates a little bit farther out. Actually, it's not that far out, 3 weeks. And then if you look at the deltas here, they're like 0.2 or less in most cases. Here, there's a 0.29. That's American Airlines. And so that strike price is $11. American Airlines hasn't been below $11 really at all. I was looking at the charts and I think it's fine. I don't think I'll get a sign. In fact, it's like over 12 now. So I think this is already at 50% profit. So I could close that now if I want and take half the profit, but I'm going to let it go. So anything exciting last week? So I was holding AMZU for the longest time. I had 800 shares of that. So I had 8 contracts and I was holding on to it for quite a while, doing some cover calls, and I had a cover call for a $30.80 strike price. That's kind of a weird number, but I think what happened, it paid a dividend in there, so they had to adjust the price somehow. And when it got taken away, the price was at 38, but my cost basis was 30. So I made about 70 cents per share times the 800 shares plus the premium. And some people looked at it and said, man, you should have held on to it and got the 38 instead of only getting $30.80. Well, like I said in my intro, this is not my growth bucket. This is my income bucket. I'm using this just to generate income. And yeah, that would have been nice, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So then I had a cash secured put on MSFU, which is like the leverage version of Microsoft. So made $252 on that. That was my big winner for the week. And then Nvidia, if you've been following me for about every week for the past 6 months, I've been doing a weekly cash secured put. And Nvidia was just kind of like hovering between the double leverage Nvidia, that is NVDL, between about $75 and $90, just kind of going back and forth, up and down. And I was doing cash secured puts for the longest time, around anywhere from like the $74 to the $80 strike price, making between $400 and $700 a week. Well, then Nvidia has shot up now, and I think today it's up over $100 a share. So I just popped up Yahoo charts here. Yeah, so it's up here at $102.33. And for the long time, like between like here in November, all that time during here, I was just doing cash secured puts every week, and it just kept trading in that range. I didn't get a sign. I just was making really nice premium. Then it took this dip down here, and then it jumped way back up here. So what I should have did when I got a sign down here, like one time, like for 74, I think I got a sign. If I had my crystal ball, I should have just hung on to that and would have made close to $30 per share. And I had, I think, either 400 or 500 shares. I can't remember. But once again, stray from the plan. So I got a plan. I got to stick to it, and it's working. So it is what it is. So one thing I was kind of afraid of, I had these Robinhood cover calls for 85 strike price. Robinhood had shot up to like 90. And at the time, the delta was only 0.10. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way Robinhood's going to shoot up that much in just a couple of weeks. And it did, but luckily it dipped down. And this morning, I went ahead and closed these early and made a little bit of money, about $89 on these two contracts, and basically took my money and run. And I do think I had another one for $100 strike price that I closed, and I must not have put this on my chart. So I'm missing one of my trades. I had 3 cover calls on Robinhood, 3 different contracts, and from 3 different accounts. So I need to go back and look. I'm missing something, but it was like $50. It wasn't much. So if I add that in, it's like $750. But anyhow, I thought sure I was gonna get those called away and I'd be losing money because my cost basis on this contract is 104, and this one here is like 99, and the other one I have is like 110. Yeah, that wasn't good. Oh, other than that, the only other thing I'm looking at is earnings for Robinhood and SoFi are both coming out next week. So typically I don't like being in a trade when earnings are announced. And when I did these cover calls on SoFi with the May 5th expiration, that'd be this one here and this one here. So this one here is the 15th. This one here is May 1st. I might have said that wrong. Typically, I don't like be holding contracts during earnings because I don't know what's going to happen. Just when you think you know what's going to happen, the opposite happens. But I am stuck holding these through earnings. So what I don't want is the price to shoot way up past 20, because my cost basis on this one is 23.91. And this one here is 24.88. So I don't want these shares taken away at 20 and then lose money on them. But I was able to get out of this one here today and make a whopping $30. And my strike price on that one was 19. And my cost basis on this one was only 19.71. It is what it is. But looking forward, I have all these cash secured puts here. I got Carnival Cruise Lines. I got Samsara. I got TQQQ with a $40 strike price. That's really low. And then UPRO at 90. And that's also really low because I think TQQ is trading at $62 today and UPRO is 126, almost 127. So I'll probably just hang on to these for quite a while. And my expiration dates are out till June. So like 7 weeks out about. And once again, you look at the deltas of 0.10. So basically what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to avoid getting assigned any more shares until I get rid of all these cover calls that I'm holding. I don't want to be holding a bunch of different stocks. So if you haven't heard me say this before, I love doing cash secured puts. I don't like doing cover calls as much because cover calls limit to what you can do, your flexibility. With a cash secured put, I can look around and kind of go shopping, see what's kind of like at a dip, look at the RSI, look at some different choices, you might say, So if you look here, I got quite a bit of diversity. So I didn't want to have too many eggs in one basket. And what I decided this week is try to keep all these trades under 10,000. So TQQQ is 12,000, but the U Pro, there's 9,000 collateral here. American Airlines is 5,500. Nvidia, there's 16,000 here. I got two different Nvidias. Actually, I closed this one here already, but I had 4 contracts actually, but different strike prices, 80 here and 84 here with different expiration dates. The first here and the 8th down here. And I got the double leverage Meta. I got another 4 contracts on the Microsoft leverage. Once again, I got 4 contracts, 25 strike price, so that's 10,000 collateral here, 10,000 here, 2 on TQQQ, so that's 10,000 collateral here. I got 4 contracts on yen right here, and that's 12,000. And I must have forgot I already had one cash card put up here for yen at 30, but those look like they're going to be fine and probably expire worthless, which is good. And then TSLL, I got 11, so $5,500 here. I have another one with TSLL here at 14. Actually, this is a cover call. So I'm owning some shares of TSLL right now. So if I do get assigned these down here, that will lower my cost basis down to, well, somewhere in the middle. They're like $12.50, which would be a good price. So if I pop a 0 in all these, and we'll copy that down here, if I highlight all these here, I have $3,500 in premium sitting out there that I potentially can collect in the next couple of weeks. But of course, I'm always closing and creating new trades, so that will change. So that pretty much wraps it up. And remember, this is not advice, just me sharing what I'm doing with my trades and keeping track of how much money I'm making. So I always love the feedback. I love the ideas of some different stocks to watch and some different things. So if you enjoy the video, let me know and keep shooting those ideas at me.